Well, the Humane Society of the United States isn't what you think of when you think of the Humane Society. The Humane Society of your local town has nothing to do or is in no way affiliated with the Humane Society of the United States. The Humane Society of the United States is nothing more than an animal activist group that raises a whole lot of money from a whole lot of honest people that think that they're helping animals, which in turn is taken away from the local humane societies and making their fundraising efforts even harder. The Humane Society of the United States has one facility called the Black Beauty Ranch, which takes in mainly horses, but they have a few other animals, and that's the only shelter that they have, which has also been in trouble with the Animal Welfare Act with the United States Department of Agriculture.
A Channel 2 investigation is looking into millions of dollars in donations given to the Humane Society of the United States. A national consumer organization says HSUS solicits pet lovers for money, but little to none of that money ever goes to help local shelters. Channel 2's Amanda Rossiter here now with more.
Well, John, HSUS admits the majority of its money does not go to shelters, but says it does a lot more to help animals in other ways around the world. Critics say HSUS intentionally misleads consumers just to get donations.
These dogs survive the wretched conditions of a puppy mill.
It's very deceptive.
We are the voice for those who don't have one of their own.
This is the HSUS, the Humane Society of the United States, reaching out for donations from animal lovers.
For just $19 a month.
They do their marketing very well, that's for sure.
But you might be surprised to learn there's virtually no connection with your local Humane Society. Critics say the national organization takes advantage of people who think they're giving to local shelters. The Cab's Paws shelter says there's certainly no regular funding help from the $100 million HSUS budget.
I think that some of the folks who donate to the national organizations, they may be under the false pretense, by no fault to their own, they may be under the false pretense that that money is going to a local cause.
And while the HSUS does work to stop puppy mills like this one in Tennessee, it also gets media coverage and donations doing it. But the puppies then go to local shelters, who then have to pay and care for them.
You know, that's the whole marketing technique of the Humane Society of the United States, was to incorporate the name, the Humane Society of the United States, to confuse people, making them think that they were the local shelters all in a national organization, which is absolutely the farthest thing from the truth, because the Humane Society of the United States is not affiliated, and they do not give their money to the local humane societies in each town. The Humane Society of the United States has raised over $500 million, with only 1.7 of that actually going to help care for animals. You know, with the other $499 million, and they pay 700 salaries with that. They pay for high-rise office buildings, people to fly all over the United States, high salaries. Wayne Pacelli makes almost $250,000 a year just with his salary alone. So you can pretty much see by their 990s where all of the money goes to. It's just most people would not take the time to look up on the internet to look at their tax returns. Well, you know, they target private facilities because you know, we don't have the money to sue them with. It's impossible for a facility of our size to keep filing lawsuits for slander and defamation of character, so they know that they're going to get away with it. B, we just happen to be big enough that they can make money off of marketing us as the abusers. So people all over the world keep sending them money thinking that they're going to help our animals, when in fact they actually are hurting our animals by taking more donations out of their mouths. How many of you know the difference between the Humane Society of the United States and the Humane Society of, say, North Texas? It's amazing. It's a $500 million marketing strategy. Okay, the Humane Society of the United States, that you see the commercials on TV saying for $19.99 a month, you can help these 30 puppies in this cage. They don't even have a shelter. They don't even donate money to the local Humane Societies. All I figured out is if they could make a business, call it the Humane Society of the United States, everybody automatically thinks every Humane Society in America must be under that umbrella of the Humane Society of the United States. Absolutely wrong. Has nothing to do with anything, okay? So donate your money to your local shelter, okay? If you want to help animals, go down to your local shelter, donate your money so you can see where it's going to and everything else. Quit sending your money across the world to people you have no idea what they're doing with your money. Okay, so that's how come we have been able to build this humongous facility in 13 years, because you come and see what you sponsor. Okay, every cage has the name of it on the sponsor. You can check anything that you want to check, but quit mailing it to people across the world. You have no clue where your money's going to. So, if you want to help dogs and cats, please go help dogs and cats, but do it in your own town. The Humane Society of the United States is in no way affiliated with your local Humane Society in your city or your county, or your state, as a matter of fact. They're absolutely two separate entities. And your local shelter actually takes care of animals, where the Humane Society of the United States does not. Well, it takes educating the public to know the difference between your local shelter, which is, called the Humane Society of North Texas or the Humane Society of Oklahoma City, versus the Humane Society of the United States. And one purpose of making this film is to be able to educate the public that there is a difference, and the money is being donated to the wrong organization if you care about taking care of animals. So public perception and public education is the best tool we have right now, is to educate the public. Most definitely, they spend a lot of money hiring people to go into different farm facilities, zoos, sanctuaries. They came into our place and faked a video in order to put it on TV and on the internet to market themselves and raise money under false pretenses. So I'm sure that they spend quite a bit of money paying people to do this. We have documents that have been turned over to the FBI to prove that their employees and their paid investigators, if you want to call them that, to lie about the facilities that they go into. And that's what their whole agenda, their whole goal is when they go into a facility, is to lie and stretch the truth to the point that people that see it on the news or on TV or on the internet yank at their heartstrings and they get their wallets out. And it's a shame that this is going on, but that's what's going on. What they're doing borderlines on domestic terrorism. The USDA declared PETA as a #1 terrorist organization for domestic terrorists in 2009. And what the HSUS has done to us by putting people in here and literally abusing our animals in order to make a film, to make money on us, and to economically hurt our financial status.
He was like screaming at him, terrible. 6 of them are getting down. So, 6 of our. Nothing even real. Oh, yeah, me too.
Michael, you ever been to this park before? No, sir. Climb the barrier here.
Okay.
Climb the barrier here. Was pulling on the cage here.
Okay, but it'd be hard. And what was he?
Then we walked back there, and he went through the bamboo all the way to the fence. Started crawling through the bamboo at the fence.
Well, and that's right where the studio isn't the studio right
No,
here?
it's
Oh no,
all
that's
the
the
way back.
office. Okay.
And then see where that break is in the outside fence?
Right.
He come out right there, the incompetence, and then went back in right there, finished climbing down through the barrier, through the bamboo, and then come out at the primate house.
He looks like a cartoon character.
And then started for the primate house.
So he couldn't get into here.
No, he realized that he couldn't get in the cages.
Okay.
And all this time he's trying to crawl through the bamboo, which is almost impossible to get through, but he made it.
Right.
And we got to this fence right here. Came walking around the Cody pen, thinking Deonatas, realized he couldn't get in that cage. I'm trying to unlock this gate and he's coming at me, so I stepped back here and this is where I drew my weapon on him and told him I was going to shoot him. He said, go ahead and shoot him. He didn't care to shoot him. And he's coming at me. And
You say they said who?
the gentleman, this
Well,
gentleman that come on the park.
no, were you on the phone at the time?
I'm on the phone with 911. I'm not allowed to hang up with her, so I had to stay on the phone.
And did they say you could shoot
She
him?
told me not to shoot him. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. Don't shoot him. And I said, I'm not going to let him climb in a cage. I said, that's not going to happen. And I said, he's not going to get me. I got him to here. I got on the sidewalk and started backing up with my gun drawn on him. As soon as he got to the sidewalk, he looked at the monkey cages, and then he just started walking down the sidewalk right here. We went around back. All the time he's yelling.
What's he yelling?
Sick 'em tigers or get 'em tigers.
And was he trying to tell the tigers to get you?
I don't know. He's just yelling at them. We went this way and I followed him with my gun drawn.
And he's like right along this fence here?
Yeah, he's walking right along the fence. I'm trying to keep my eye on him.
And this whole time he's yelling at you.
Yeah, he's yelling sick 'em tigers or kill me, shoot me.
So he was kind of wanting you to shoot.
Yeah, we got to the fox cage here. He unclasped the fox barrier cage and went in and pulled on the fox cage like he was going to climb it and realized he couldn't get in it either. And that's when he started the Ozzy's cage. And at this time I got a little more aggressive with my threatening him. And he started here and I yelled for Davey to see if Davey was on the park yet. And Davey hollered at me, and when he heard Davey holler, I'm trying to walk him down this road right here. I get him halfway down this walking, and as soon as he sees Davey, he takes off running. If he'd have tried to climb over these cages, I would have had to shot him. And that would have been pretty tough. I was pretty shook up anyway.
You ever shot anybody?
Never. I've never pulled a gun on anybody like that before. It's a different feeling.
So did he go all the way around here?
He did. He ran all the way around to the barn. Davey finally caught him at the barn.
Oh.
And
Because we don't have to walk all the way around there.
that's good. And then they tackled him. They started at the barn. It was just Davey, and everybody else gathered up down the sidewalk, and finally they caught up with him in front of the porcupine cage, and in front of Bailey and Karina, and they finally got him down.
Is this the first time you've ever seen something like this?
Yeah, this is the first for me. He had every intention of climbing in a cage and killing himself.
Now, say he got into a cage.
I wouldn't have been able to save him. I'd have just,
Would you have shot him through the cage?
I would have shot him before he got in. I wouldn't let him get in. Now, we say if you're going to pull the trigger, intend to kill, so I would have had to kill him.
Were you thinking that?
Yeah, I was thinking he was going to hurt me over here, so I wasn't going to let that happen again, so... Yeah, it was definitely in my mind. If it wasn't for the lady on 911, he'd already been shot.
Is time going slow?
Yeah. she told me the county deputies the closest unit was 15 minutes away. It was like, oh my Lord.
Well, the government has a hard time not stepping in on this because it's all about political power and votes. One of the FBI agents told us, in fact, when we caught one of the people red-handed stealing our hard drives, that it would never be prosecuted due to political power and the judge and the prosecuting attorneys losing votes. So, you know, if anything violates animal terrorism or domestic terrorism, is to be able to control our government officials by scaring them into elected positions and out of elected positions. The Humane Society itself, along with Wayne Pacelli, takes $100,000 a year from Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida, and they have been down there numerous times to visit Big Cat Rescue, so I would say that they're pretty much in the same boat. Depending on how much money you give Wayne Pacelli depends on how much you can get away with. The Humane Society operates basically on the same moral principle as the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. The only difference between PETA and HSUS is PETA actually euthanizes all their animals. The Humane Society of the United States, as people seen on one of the phone calls that I videotaped me making to the Humane Society of the United States, Humane Society refuses to even pick up animals or take in animals, so they don't have a chance to euthanize the animals. So, in my opinion, their one is just as bad as the other.
Thank you for calling the Humane Society of the United States. Please make a selection from the following menu items. If you have a question regarding your membership or would like to support our animal protection work, press 1 to be connected to an operator. Press 2 if you have an animal emergency. For animal emergencies, please call your local animal control office or law enforcement agency. You can find your local shelter or animal control.
They're not going to help.
And Pet Finder. Thank you for calling the Humane Society of the United States. Please make a selection from the following menu items.
By the time we get somebody to answer, our two tigers are going to kill each other.
Or would like to support our animal protection work.
We're actually calling the Humane Society of the United States since they're the leading experts of how to care for animals, how to keep two tigers from fighting through the fence.
Press 4 if you know your party's extension or to dial by name. You may press 0 to be connected to the switchboard. One moment, please.
Thank God.
You gotta see this ass whooping on Good Morning America.
Hey, do you have anybody in like an exotic animal area?
You can speak with Miss Debbie Leahy. She's the regulatory affairs specialist.
Is she in?
I'm going to give you her number and you will dial her directly. I don't know if she's in, okay?
Okay.
The number is 630
630
393 9627.
9627. And what is her name?
Debbie.
Debbie.
And the last name is Leahy.
And where's she located?
I'm not sure if she was remotely. I don't know which that area code is.
Hey, I have an unwanted donkey here that somebody dumped off in my driveway. Will y'all pick it up?
No, we don't pick up animals, sir. We're in Washington, D.C. Where are you located?
In Oklahoma.
You will have to contact your local Humane Society.
Isn't that you all?
No, we are not affiliated with the other Humane Societies.
So, you don't pick up animals anywhere?
No, we do not.
Well, why are you called the Humane Society?
That is our name, but all Humane Societies are individual. They can call themselves Humane Societies.
Go.
Okay, so you don't have a shelter? Hello? She hung up on me. Oh well, let's try the next one.
Terranova. What? Come here and show me where you found that. No, you gotta see this apple.
Okay, we're calling Debbie Lee.
Your pet could
Okay, well, there you have it. We called the Humane Society to try and get a hold of their exotic animal experts. Hello? Hello?
Leaves a message.
Because we have two tigers arguing through the fence, and we need to figure out how to stop it. And you heard it yourself right here on the phone. They don't take care of animals, okay? So I would like to know if the Humane Society of the United States is going to tell us how to take care of our animals, where the hell their experts are. And you heard it straight from their switchboard.
Humane Society of Oklahoma City.
10 years ago.
It says it, but it says it.
It
says it.
For hearing more about our adoption program, please press 4. The phone number to our low-cost Oklahoma Humane Society Senior Clinic is 405-947-7729. If you are interested in making a donation, are a member of the media, or have questions for our administrative office, please press 5. If you are interested in volunteering, your call is now being transferred.
Let's see if they can help me. I can't figure out how to keep these two tigers from arguing through a fence. But since they're the leading experts to tell me how to do my job, we're going to see if they can.
Central Oklahoma Humane Society. This is Kat. How can I help you?
Hi, Kat. I have a couple questions. One is, are you affiliated with the Humane Society of the United States?
We are not. We're an independent nonprofit organization based in Oklahoma City.
Okay. I just called them because I had an exotic animal question of how to take care of a couple tigers, and they told me to call you.
Interesting. We don't deal with exotics. We only know about basically dogs and cats. So I would call the wildlife department. That probably in Oklahoma is going to be the closest thing to dealing with that.
Okay.
So they would probably be able to help you more than I could.
Okay, so you're independent, so they don't fund you?
No, they don't fund us. We don't get any government funding. We do get some donations from the ASPCA and Pet Smart charities and things like that, and then the majority of our donations are from private people.
Well, then why are they called the Humane Society of the United States? If you're called the Humane Society of Oklahoma.
Yes. Humane Society isn't really like our name or anything like that. It's just a general term for an animal welfare organization.
Right.
So there are also places called like the Enid Society of Protection against the Cruelty of Animals.
Right.
They are not affiliated with the American Society of Protection Group.
So this is just a marketing scheme?
It's not a marketing scheme. It's a classification for a name.
No, I mean the Humane Society of the United States is obviously using the word Humane Society, thinking that...
It's actually been around a lot longer than most of the smaller groups. So it's okay that they call themselves that. They're just a different type of group than we are. They're a national organization.
But I just talked to them and they don't adopt animals.
Yeah, I don't know as much about their operations.
Okay.
And we're not affiliated with them at all.
Alright, but either way, the Humane Society of Oklahoma can't help me with a tiger problem.
We can't. We're just Central Oklahoma, and right now we deal mostly with the pet overpopulation problem in Oklahoma City and the area.
Thank you, hon.
No problem.
Bye-bye. There you have it. The Humane Society of the United States will not help me answer a tiger problem, and the Humane Society of Oklahoma will not. But they all want to dictate how we take care of our tigers. I don't know how they train their spies, but you know, they came in here and they were trained by us to do a proper job. They were given a proper paycheck and told how to care for animals, and they neglected to do their job on purpose in order to make a video. So if that's the way that the Humane Society of the United States likes to train their people to come into an honest facility and sabotage on in order to make an undercover video in their favor, so be it. But morally, it's absolutely wrong, because we did nothing wrong except hire an honest guy and give him an honest paycheck and train him. That our lawyer wants you to ask, and you need to answer them with a yes or no question, and you need to answer them loud enough that the video camera will pick you up. State your name.
Sam Crowell.
Okay. Are you doing this on your own free will?
Yes.
Have you been threatened with bodily harm to write an affidavit or make this video?
No.
Do you remember signing a confidentiality agreement between the GW Exotic Animal Foundation and you in 2008?
Yes.
Did PETA offer to pay you to be a spy within our organization?
Yes.
Did you communicate with Hannah Sheen?
Yes.
Did you communicate with Lisa Wathney?
Once, yes.
Who offered to pay you, Hannah or Lisa?
I believe
both the Humane Society spies and the PETA spies, along with the Big Cat Rescue spies, have all filled out policy procedures. They went through training programs. They know the diet programs. They know how often the cage is to be cleaned every day. They go through a pretty intense training period here. And, you know, once again, if they choose to not do it on purpose in order to make a video, I don't know how you can fight that. Hannah specifically states that she bought this camera with the matching serial number to the camera in our possession for you, sent to you for you to do your assignment. Are you saying she's lying?
Yes.
Why do you think she addressed the email to you if it wasn't bought for you and bought for Jamie?
I think Jamie was... I've caught Jamie several times. She's used...
Okay, don't swing back and forth. I need to... Okay, keep going. Why do you think she addressed the email to you and not Jamie if the camera was bought for Jamie?
No.
Do you think our animals are underfed?
No.
Have you been put through a strict training program here at the GW Exotic Animal Park for feeding?
Yes.
Safety?
Yes.
Caring for our babies?
Yes.
Handling of animals?
Yes.
Did you attend a 3-day USDA training course?
Yes.
Did you pass?
I think yes.
Do you agree with PETA killing 97% of their animals left in their possession?
No.
Did you ever, or with Jamie, provide our tour information on our tours of locations of our clients?
I've told Jamie like where we would go next and stuff if she asked, but no one outside of the employees.
And do you believe that Jamie gave that information to PETA?
Yes.
And were you and Jamie dating at the time?
Yes. Shared everything at the time.
Are you aware of the definition of economic extortion?
I believe so. Doing something to damage the economy.
Are you aware of the definition of economic or industrial espionage?
Yes.
Do you know or are you aware that it is a federal offense to download, break into anyone's computer without their knowledge?
Yes.
This was made on January the 4th, 2011 with Sammy Corral after being contacted by Jamie of their to-do with PETA planning an undercover spy within our organization. The Humane Society of the United States has absolutely no trained staff that do what we do on a daily basis of taking care of exotic animals and tigers and animals such as what we deal with on a daily basis. They would like to make the public believe that they do, but once again, like the phone call that we made, that we video recorded, goes to show you that they have no knowledge in how to take care of a tiger. Our local Humane Society has no knowledge on how to take care of a tiger. But everybody wants to tell us how to do our jobs and what's right and what's wrong in order to make $500 million off of slandering the people that are taking care of our tigers, which is us. The HSUS does not take in animals. They don't pick up animals. They don't care for animals. we called and asked if they would take in a donkey that someone dropped off, and they refused service on that as well. So my answer to the Humane Society of the United States taking in animals would have to be no. The one time that we called the other day when we were preparing our statements and stuff, we called and asked if they could give us some advice on how to keep 2 of our tigers from fighting through the fence, and the lady that answered the phone literally hung up on us. She didn't know anything, she didn't want to offer anything, and she didn't want to discuss anything, and she ended the phone call with hanging up on us. Why do we do what we do? Well, it's surely not to make $500 million a year. Our animals are some of the healthiest animals you're going to see in any kind of a captive setting. We spend way more on caging and making our habitats than most any zoo in the country does. So our animals are very comfortable, very happy, and extremely healthy. We're very proud of our breeding that we do here. We're involved in one of the world's largest DNA programs with the university in order to keep our bloodlines pure and healthy. So that's something that we've never denied we've done here, is we have very few select pairs of tigers, dingoes, singing dogs, Cootamundays that we do breed here, lions. So yeah, we're very proud that we can ship some of our cats worldwide to other zoos to try and help keep a diverse bloodline. So one day when the world straightens up, if it ever does, and the animals can be returned back to the wild, that we have the bloodlines to do that with.
Wonderful. Anybody can support this place, I'd say do it. I mean, it's just wonderful what they do with the animals here.
So you think they all look happy?
I can't wait to play with the baby tiger.
They look happy and extremely well cared for.
Yeah, well, there's some of them that look happier if they could like bite my arm or something like that.
If people would take care of their children as well as you take care of these animals, it'd be a better world.
Yep. Beautiful, nice place. Yeah. Glad we came here. Glad we came.
It was worth the money to come on the tour.
Glad the wilderness thing was the safari boat.
I don't know, baby doll.
What was it called?
So is this better than any other zoo you guys been to? You see more tigers here?
Yes.
Yes, quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So
I went to the circus and saw a white tiger.
And I do have one question for you guys. Do you guys know the difference between the Humane Society of the United States and your local Humane Society?
I don't know what that means.
They are not affiliated in any way, shape, or form other than the name.
I don't even know what that
What you
means.
call in and donate has nothing to do with your local Humane Society. Most of the money that the Humane Society of the United States gets actually goes to employees to pay salaries. It never goes out to help animals.
That's not good.
And when it does, only very little of it does. So if you guys want to donate, put it somewhere where you guys can find it. Keep an eye on it.
We're licensed as a zoo open to the public by the United States Department of Agriculture, and we do exhibit. You know, it's a place where people can come and see the animals and learn about the animals. And, you know, without being open to the public, you wouldn't be able to fund anything of what we do. And without being open to the public, people would not be able to learn about saving animals from a third world country that they would never be able to see. So, yeah, we have no problem with admitting that we're open to the public and we exhibit animals. Well, the United States Department of Agriculture has they're in charge of the Animal Welfare Act, so they're the ones who set the standards of caging, which is really very minimal. The animal just has to be able to stand up and move around enough to get exercise to stay alive. So the condition of your cages and the size of your cages is more a morale issue as well as how much you care about your animals. Well, you know, it all revolves around money because Big Cat Rescue donates $100,000 a year to the Humane Society of the United States in order to eat dinner with them once a year. So obviously the Humane Society is not going to go by any kind of ethics or morals or anything else. They're going to go by who is donating to their pockets, is why you never hear the Humane Society complain about the conditions of the cages at Big Cat Rescue or other facilities that donate them money versus our facilities. And as you can tell, you know, our cages are all welded, wire pipe, tubing, and large, with, you know, grass and playthings and everything else. Meanwhile, down at Big Cat Rescue, you have panels, the same panels that we use, except in round circles holding them up instead of structural poles, and hog rings instead of being welded together. So, you know, anytime that they say that our place is deplorable, sit back and look at the pictures of what they say is fine and be the judge for yourself. Probably the hardest thing that I have to deal with is how money buys you approval. What do I think of the elephant in the living room? I think it was the most disgusting, heartbreaking movie I think I've ever seen in my life, to know that an animal rights organization such as the Humane Society of the United States could give away $25,000 to fund a movie, to spend an entire year at one facility and never offer to help clean the cage for these poor lions, to the point that they electrocuted the father lion to death and stood there and filmed him screaming in agony while he was dying, just to make a movie. And you know, to shoot a snake that was absolutely savable, and then to kill one of the baby lions, moving it in a trailer with no ventilation, just to try and make an animal rights movie. I think that is probably the lowest I've ever seen a production company, not to mention an animal rights organization, stoop to try and get a point across to raise money for their own pocket.